Ah, ah. Get ready to add a spine-tingling twist to your content. We are about to unveil the eerie enchantment of creating custom frames in Canva. By the end of this spooktacular stream, your content will be bewitched with Halloween vibes that'll give your audience goosebumps.
Welcome to Content Creators Connect. Here we are all about encouraging the 3 C's: connecting with others via video, content development that builds your personal brand, and we are creators sharing our experiences despite our distance.
And the C3 team member that is going to be leading the discussion this evening is Miss Dori, known to everyone in her community as DSpence, and is using her superpowers or magical powers over the Halloween season to install confidence in those around her and helping others become experts in their own adventures.
So, gentlemen, being avid connoisseurs of Canva, as I know you both are, I wonder if either of you have used Canva's frame feature. And if so, have you ever had a need or even maybe just a want to create a custom frame using maybe a logo or a special shape depicting something special, your image or something specific for your streams? Manny, you first.
Well, I do use the Canva frames all the time. Literally, there's a section that even says frames. And but when it came to custom frames, I wasn't really too sure what you were referring to until you showed me, until you showed us at the beginning that you showed the samples of us. Then I knew, like, wait a second, I did recently use a custom frame, which is, I mean, my gosh, I was like, this was super awesome. So the fact that you're going to be diving into this, and I just kind of realized, like, wow, you could really be using this in your content stuff. The timing could not be more perfect. So to answer your question, I have used Canva frames, but I really have not gotten into the custom frames very much. What about you, Kevin?
Well, basically the same line as you, Manny. I have definitely used the templated and the frames that they have there already. But to actually create my own, I've wanted to know how to do that for so long because I want it to be a certain shape, a certain location, and some of the templates that they have there just don't suit my needs. So I'm super stoked to be learning about this tonight. So if this is a type of content that you'd like to see more of, definitely please consider hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell so you get notification of when we go live.
All right. So I am so excited. As I told you guys, I kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole today and lost hours and hours of my life. Canva can definitely do that to you. So first, I want to start off with the idea of what is a custom frame. So many of us in the content creation world have seen many examples of people having their image in, say, like a mock-up of a smartphone or picture of their own web page on a fake computer monitor in a background. So custom frames actually take this up one more notch, and they allow you to use your own images, your own shapes as the precursor, as the mold, if you will, for the image itself. And so I just wanted to share what a few of these custom frames might potentially look like in your stream. And then hopefully you can kind of get an idea of why and how you might be able to use some of these. So in this example, I took a picture of Kevin and I put him inside a funny jack-o'-lantern face, right? Here's one of Manny being my devil on my shoulder over here with that, that little devilish grin. And here I actually went another step further and used the edit feature in Canva to make it a black and white photo because I thought it was far more dramatic to change that to a black and white. Here I am in a witch mold holding, yes, that is in fact a runic axe that my husband gave me for my anniversary because I'm a D&D nut. Now, those are just some fun ways, and those are the types of things we're going to demonstrate since we're in a little bit of a, a little bit of a spooky mood here, and we've got the spider visiting us tonight and the ghost flying through. I'm going to definitely hone in on Halloween specific shapes, but you can literally do this for your daily streams as well as other special holidays. So an example of how you might use it, here's an example of a ghost, and I put our C3 logo inside of it. So I think that's really kind of cute for Halloween. And here's a more generic example. So let's say that you have a logo and you want to do something very specific in terms of maybe a color overlay, or you want to fill it with a particular background image. Like for Christmas, you could put something like, snowflakes or Christmas lights or something like that, and use this modified version of your logo in multiple places. So I just wanted to share with you guys some of the examples that I created myself using the method that I am about to show you right now. Now, just to be completely transparent, upfront, and honest, I did put a list of the software programs that I use in the video description. They are as follows. They are Canva. I do have a pro account, Microsoft PowerPoint, a website called svgrepo.com, and then finally a free download of a graphic alteration program called Inkscape. So I'm going to be demonstrating and bouncing back and forth between those 4 programs as I demonstrate this process. Now, I want to tell you that there is an easy mode, and then there is a little bit more of a difficult path to take. So first I want to demonstrate easy mode for all of you. I'm going to show you how to generate a graphic, how to convert it, and then we're going to end with bringing those into Canva and filling them with some of our favorite photos. So first I want to bring you over to a website. And this is the website called svgrepo.com. So I literally went on this site and just typed in Halloween and searched for SVGs. Now, for those that aren't familiar, an SVG is a scalable vector graphic. And for the sake of not getting super nerdy and geeky, basically it's an image that's created by multiple points using math. And it makes it easier to scale up to larger sizes versus using a pixel created image. So I'm going to just scroll down and find an image that I like. I've been through these pages countless times already. So here's a great image of a ghost, and I'm going to go ahead and just hit download. And basically that pulls that down onto my computer. Once I have the SVG image on my machine, I'm going to actually bounce over here to PowerPoint. Now I just created a blank slide. And if you don't know how to do that, if you just go to layout, you choose the blank option, it will get rid of all the extra stuff on there for you. Literally, all you need to do is take the image from your downloads and drag it onto your page. Okay, now I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller so you guys can kind of see it better in frame. So one of the things that happens when you bring in an SVG, it doesn't come in as an image file like you're used to. It comes in as what's called a graphic file. So if you notice up here on my toolbar, I now have a button that says graphic format. Okay, and when I bring in my SVG on this particular tab on my ribbon, I'm going to come all the way over here to the left. And you should see a button here that says convert to shape. So I'm going to click that. Now, did you see anything happen? Absolutely nothing changes on the surface about the image. But what I do want to point out is that now when I click on this image, that graphic format up here is replaced by a button that says shape format. Okay, so now this is a custom shape, which means I can take that shape and I can fill it with absolutely anything I want. What you have to fill it with in this particular case is an actual picture, so that when you bring that into Canva, you can then remove that picture and you'll see the outline of a frame, and then you can replace it with anything that you want. So in this case, I'm going to go to Shape Fill. I'm going to choose Picture. And what I usually do is I just use a very plain background. This is actually the background we use for our thumbnails, so that I know this is my version of what a frame is going to look like. Okay, so now easy mode engaged. All you have to do at this point is do a file, save as, and I'm going to save it as ghost with fork, just because it's different than the other ghost. And right here, this is the most important part. I'm actually not going to save it as a PowerPoint file. I'm actually going to save it as a PDF file. Okay. Now, there's a couple other things that I can point out to you guys. If you wanted to, you could, really make that image fill the frame, but it doesn't really matter, because I'm going to show you how to edit the sizing and things once we get over into Canva. So you can go ahead and choose PDF, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And that's it. Now I'm ready to make that a custom frame inside Canva. But wait, that was easy mode. What if you have an image that you want to use that's not already an SVG file? You can use this program called Inkscape to actually create an SVG file for you. So let me go ahead and get rid of what I already was playing around with in Inkscape. And I'm going to go ahead and switch over to that. Now, what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm actually going to use our C3 logo again. And so I have it saved as a PNG. I'm going to drag it. Oops, I actually needed to stay on PowerPoint one extra step. I'm going to drag it here, okay? And I'm going to resize it just so that I can see it a little bit better, just like that. Now, one of the things that I didn't do the first couple times was I did not click away from the image, and I ended up with this silly boundary box around it. So if you just click away, it will make the box go away. And you use whatever snipping tool you have at your disposal on your computer. And so I'm going to open up my snipping tool, and you should see my screen going gray. And I'm just going to resize it. It's okay if you have a little bit of space. You probably cannot see my dotted line, but it's not actually touching the image. There is just a little bit of white space around it. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to capture that image. And now I'm going to bounce over to Inkscape, where I'm simply going to right click and paste. Still looks exactly the same, right? Absolutely exactly the same. So now I still have an image. I need to make it, I need to trace the path to turn it into a vector image. So what you're going to do is up here on the toolbar, you're going to choose Path. And then you're going to click this third button down that says Trace Bitmap. When you do, your menu over here on the right-hand side changes. Now, for most PDFs, you can actually choose Auto Trace, okay? The image that I'm using is complex. And so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use another option that says brightness. Now, if you guys can see that, I've basically isolated the C3 and the hands as the white piece, and the black is also contrasted and separated out. if I'm happy with how this looks, which you can change the threshold here, so you can add some and take some away. I literally just took it until I had the whole entire center image whited out, and then I'm going to hit apply. Again, doesn't really look like it did anything. Now, I'm going to pause for just a quick second. Depending on what operating system, what computer you're on, what version of PowerPoint you have, there's a few different factors that will come into play. On the Windows machine that I use, I can simply right-click on here and copy. Okay? Now, in doing that, I can then go back to PowerPoint, and I'm going to just get rid of this first. Actually, you know what? I'll add a new slide so you guys can see it. If I were to right-click and paste, all you see is the behind-the-scenes vector code for that image. You see the math, okay? So basically, what I need to do is in Inkscape, I need to then just save this as an SVG file. So you go File, Save As, and I'm going to point it to my Canva Custom Frames folder. And I'm going to, instead of an Inkscape SVG, I'm going to choose plain SVG. That guarantees that it's going to be universal across all the programs that I want to use it in. And then I'm going to hit save. And that's it. I'm completely done with Inkscape. So now when I come back to PowerPoint, I now have a SVG file of our logo. And I'm going to drag it in. Oops, wrong one. Sorry. Delete. Oh, no, that's correct. And then I'm going to hit convert to shape. And I'm going to get rid of the original image so that I'm left with just the vector. And you can tell you need to do that if you click on it and you have two sets of boundary boxes like I did. If you guys didn't see what I just did, when you click on it, you see how there's two sets of boxes there? You just move this one out of the way and delete that one. And now you're left with your SVG. And now it's just a simple matter of, I'm going to delete this slide and I'm going to save this out as C3 logo new and save it as a PDF and hit save. So in both scenarios, you end your PowerPoint session with saving your image as a PDF file to your machine. And now I'm completely done with everything except for Canva. So now I'm in Canva. Now I'm in Canva. Where are you, Canva? Now I'm in Canva. So when you're in Canva, you are going to hit create a design. You're not going to open up a blank presentation. You're not going to open up a blank image file. What you're going to do is go all the way down to the bottom and choose import file. And here is where you have the opportunity to open up the PDF file that you created in PowerPoint. So I'm going to open the ghost and go ahead and hit open. Now, if you notice, it's showing me that it's loading down here. When it's done, you simply just click on it, and now it's going to open up a project file for you. If you have extraneous things like this, sometimes depending on the image that you bring in, that might happen. I would just say, just click on them and delete. Now here's where the magic is going to happen, okay? It looks exactly the way it did in PowerPoint. It still has that gradient image that I put as the fill. But now when I click on it and I hit the delete key on my keyboard, now you see the ever familiar frame option for Canva, okay? And by the way, you don't even have to hit delete. I just did that so you could see that it really was a frame behind there. So now all you need to do is go to your images and pick something and drag it. Now, I'm going to do this very slowly so that you guys can see. As I'm dragging the image of Kevin out, it looks like it's just going to drop it on the canvas until I get my cursor, not even the picture, but my cursor on top of the frame, and then I just let go. Now, I may not be happy with the placement, so if you double click, you can kind of move the image around, but you are limited by the width and the height of the original frame that you put in there. So if I want Kevin's face to be kind of farther down in the body, I might have to make his image bigger and then move it so that it fills the frame like that a little bit more. And from this point, the last step is just hitting share, choosing download. Make sure you select transparent background and PNG. That's super duper important. And you just download that newly created image asset to your computer that you can then use at your will in your static content, your posts, your live streams, you name it, you can use it. So that is the ghost. And then if you want, I can also show you just quickly the C3 image. Again, import file. And now I'm going to choose the C3. I think I just picked the same one again. I did. That's what happens when you try to click faster than your computer will actually respond to you. Let's try it one more time. There we go, C3. Import that file. And now when I open it, now you can do something really super cool with this. So instead of just doing, say, like the solid gold, which I just searched inside of Canva for. Let's say that I want to pick candy corn image. I'm going to go to photos and I'm going to say, okay, I like this one. And I'm going to just drag it. Now, in that case, I made a mistake. When I brought that file in, I brought the wrong one in. So if you do that, this is what happens. It fills the entire area and basically circumvents filling the image and replaces the image with the candy corn. So what I want to do is I want to actually get the correct one. Come to me, darling. Come to me. Where are you? Here we go. All right, I just dragged that in, so I don't even know if that's going to actually work. Yes, it is. Okay. So there's Manny representing C3, right? But here's the cool thing. Do you see this white spot here? You could go and you could do something neat, like put in, say, like you could fill the entire canvas behind that with another image. I wouldn't necessarily use something busy like that. I would use something maybe, you know, a little bit more plain. But you could really create layers here in just using this custom frame option. So in review, what I just want to stress with all of you is there is not one specific way to do this, okay? There is the possibility of using some other tools to do this same process. Some people use Microsoft Word instead of PowerPoint, but I will say this. I have attempted it with Keynote, and I have attempted it with LibreOffice, which is free. I just have not found another way to use that convert to shape feature that then allows you to fill the shape with an image. That is really one of the key components to this. So I did see that there were several questions coming in, but first I do want to move over to the guys and have a little bit of conversation. So those were some spooktacular examples of how you can use custom frames in Canva to spice up your content. I'm very eager to hear from you guys, your takeaways, or how you might implement this in your own show flow. And I think we're going to go Manny first.
Great job. I love Canva, and I gotta say, I've been using it so many years. Whenever you or Kevin do a training, I always learn something new. And in tonight's training, being able to use these custom frames, let's be real, when you are running a show, it's also entertainment, right?
Yep.
You're entertaining your audience, and here you are sharing ways that we can spice up our lives. We can spice up our videos in general. So I loved it. My biggest takeaway, I will say, is that SVG site. Being able to have a site that you can make, if I'm understanding correctly, you can make images into a vector file. And with vector files, there's been times where I've needed something printed as a logo or something, and it wasn't a vector file. And I'm like, I don't even know where to go. And the fact that you're showing this, to me, that was one of the secret sauces that you shared tonight in putting all of this together, because a lot of us get logos done and things like that. And that's where it's like, it's having a good understanding of being able, if they ask for a vector file, now you got a source that you can go to. I think that's phenomenal. So great job there. That was my really biggest takeaway. Being able to combine that SVG, creating that. And I think you answered my question. I had asked this question, but it looks like you might have used the C3. You did the C3 logo this exact way. Is that what we watched you do?
So when I first created our logo, no, that was far more complex, and I used Photoshop and a lot of like masking tools and things for that, just because of the different gradients and the combination of artifacts that I used to create that. Canva is great for design, but when you really want to like fine tune things, having a graphic program like Inkscape, like Photopea, which is free, like Photoshop, which is what I'm trained in, those are really key for really kind of dialing in some of your graphics.
That was awesome. Kevin, what was your biggest takeaway?
Honestly, I love the fact that you can create those custom shapes, because I've been looking to like do almost like what you did with our C3 logos, like use a logo, empty it out so you can actually fill it in. For instance, like you said, around holiday seasons, put some holiday pictures in there, and specifically like around the Christmas season, doing the striped candy canes uh, to fill the actual logo. Um, but I didn't know how to actually empty it so that I could put that as a background. So that definitely was a learning experience for me. And yeah, one of the questions that I had asked, like you said, there are many ways of actually doing it. But any program that creates a PDF, are you able just to then import that PDF to be able to, and then remove that in Canva?
So that's kind of where that whole idea of filling the shape with an image prior to creating the PDF has to happen. So it's a combination of steps. So the short answer is no, you can't just bring in any PDF and have it recognize it as a custom frame. You do have to specifically follow those steps that I laid out, with either starting with an SVG and converting it to a shape, or somehow using an image and getting it into a vector file, an SVG, and then converting it to a shape. And the last piece is, and I think this is kind of answering your question a little bit more, Kevin, in terms of just having an image or a shape in a PDF. You have to physically change the interior of that image, that shape, sorry, not image, that shape to a picture. You can't even just leave it as a color. Like that ghost was a solid black color. Even after I converted it to a shape, if I didn't go that extra mile and fill it with an image, it wouldn't work in Canva.
Gotcha. So yeah, no, that totally makes sense. And yeah, you definitely laid out the step-by-step of how to do it. But like you said, there are other tools out there to accomplish the same thing. But essentially, the steps that you laid out are the ones that you need to follow to do it. So great
Yeah.
presentation. Definitely did learn like Kenny or Manny says in Canva. Always learning something new. There's so much that you can do in there. So anybody that is playing in there and willing to share any new ideas or new tools within that environment, I'm always open to trying out and seeing if it actually can be useful in my flow as well.
Awesome. And just a quick shout out to Anna. She said she's coming in late, but she is definitely heading back to check things out. So that's really exciting, Anna. We hope that you take something away from tonight's broadcast. And so I do believe it is time. Creating custom frames in Canva opens up a world of possibilities for creators to completely customize the look of their online content and streams. The only real question is, what will you create and how far will your imagination take you? For more amazing Canva content, I would highly encourage you to check out the stream Kevin did just last week on some of Canva's magical updates. That was episode 61, entitled Canva's Magical Updates, posted on October 22nd, and hopefully the link is appearing in the comments.
And if you enjoy content like this and are finding it useful, we would love for you if you would like and subscribe. Sharing our content is a great way to spread the love. So visit our website for all information on how you can connect with us, and it's just over there. So you can see linktr.ee/contentcreatorsconnect. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and X. So drop down in the comments also things that you would like us to dig deeper into and any topics that we haven't covered yet that you'd like to see in the future.
My friends, thank you for joining Content Creators Connect, aka C3, tonight, as Dori demonstrated some fun holiday themed frames that you can customize starting today right there in Canva. We will return next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I will be sharing with you some of YouTube's latest updates on their platform as we head into 2024. Are they really trying to be that big of a deal? We will be multicasting live to YouTube, Facebook, and X, so be sure to join us. Until then, we do urge you to identify and lean into your 3 C's. Start today creating unique content that builds connections and breaks down those barriers. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.